Breaking developments as far as the India-Canada standoff is concerned. The British Columbia Premier David Eby has stated that the briefing that he did receive from Canada's intelligence on Nijjar's killing was that which was openly available on the internet. He has stated that Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau had called him and asked him whether he wanted a briefing in which the intelligence officials gave information that was quote-unquote freely available on the internet. Let's in fact listen in to what he has to say.
Briefings that I've been able to receive from CSIS are what are called open information briefings or open source briefings, which is information that's available to the public doing an internet search, which I find frustrating. And so I can be transparent about that information that I've received. In terms of the specific incident in Surrey, I was contacted by the Prime Minister. He briefed me about what he was going to say in the Parliament, which he then went on and said. He offered to me a briefing from CSIS, which of course I said, yes, I would like that. We arranged it. I got a briefing from the director, which was, as I say, open source information. And then that was it. I expressed my frustration in the meeting with the CSIS director about our inability to get more concrete information about.
All right, there you heard it. The Premier of British Columbia. Joining us on the broadcast this morning is Ambassador Suresh Kumar Goyal, former diplomat. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us on NewsX. Some rather stunning statements, stunning revelations coming in from Canada at this point. Apparently, British Columbia's Premier, in fact, the so-called alleged killing had taken place in British Columbia. He has stated that the briefing that he has received is something that could quote-unquote be received, be received anywhere on the internet. So what do you make of this fresh information that's coming in?
See, it was fairly obvious even in the beginning when Justin Trudeau is talking about credible allegations, etc., that besides whatever he had got in terms of and whose credibility can also be questioned as evidence about the communications between diplomatic communications, emails, etc., from Indian High Commission to others, etc. And he's using that to establish that there has been something about killing Nijjar. Obviously not, because if he had, then he would have been able to share the proof. So this credible allegation, and there is no proof, nothing at all, therefore it is fairly obvious that all that he's doing is really building up a castle on the basis. It's just a sand castle, really. There is nothing to it, and even if there is nothing, there's no evidence, etc. And this has been now established by the statement given by the Premier of British Columbia. So therefore, number one, that it is all essentially the prejudices of Justin Trudeau against India, without realizing that the countries are bigger than any person. India is bigger than our Prime Minister. Canada is bigger than Justin Trudeau. And we need to think of long-term cooperation, long-term relations. Justin Trudeau, unfortunately, because of his prejudices against India, has ruined it all. And this will need to be repaired in a manner that Justin Trudeau can't affect it anymore.
Sir, also these statements, do these sort of imply that the intelligence which has been gathered is something that they perhaps picked up off the internet?
Not necessarily. Look, one should not go into these kind of operational matters because there could be so many things. You can pick up, if you are a good hacker, you can hack into the email account of somebody else and pick up the email. And that is again off the internet, but it requires some doing. But the point really here is that if the British Premier said that briefing he got, which basically would be kind of speculative, what he's saying is this is what he could have known from the internet. Fair enough. So therefore, there was nothing new in what Justin Trudeau told him in terms of whether he shared intelligence or did not share intelligence, beside the point. But the point really, the most important point really here is that in terms of actual hard evidence, there is nothing here which has been shared by him with anyone.
All right, sir. With that, I would like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast. But also, with us this morning is Mr. Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist, as well as Mr. Sanjeev Srivastav, international affairs expert. I would like to rope in Mr. Mukherjee into the conversation right now. These statements have definitely come even as the India and Canada tensions are sort of snowballing. They are escalating. Trudeau has again today made a fresh claim stating that he had shared these so-called quote-unquote credible information with India weeks ago, even as our Ministry of External Affairs has stated that they had asked for information but no evidence was shared. And now these statements have come out. Do you think, how long will Trudeau be able to keep this farce up?
Well, I think he's dug himself into a hole, and every day somebody is coming up. The Pentagon ex-official, retired official Rubin was pretty strong, and that's from the United States, a former Pentagon official. Quite, if you like, I mean, he was trying to imply that he got backing, and some of this evidence, or if you like, information from the United States. Well, the United States has nudged a ex-Pentagon official to trash it. Within Canada, first you had a liberal minister who said, why are you attacking Hindus and doing nothing about it? The leader of the opposition, Pierre, is saying, this is, balderdash. Can you give us some hard evidence? Now you've got the Premier of British Columbia, where this criminal was killed. And he's saying, well, look, this is all available on the internet. I expressed my frustration. You see, maybe Trudeau was trying to get his help, but British Columbia Premier is not about to give it. I think his motive behind all this is really to try and tarnish Modi's reputation. He's trying to portray him as a strongman who does not obey the rule of law. He must have said rule of law about 50 times between the time he began and the time he reiterated it. And he's sounding sorrier and sorrier. I wonder if he'll be able to keep his job.
Indeed, his numerous press conferences, as you've stated, he's only reiterated this one phrase again and again and again. And, Mr. Sanjeev Srivastav, I'd like to rope you into the discussion on this point. You had called, Trudeau's actions a blunder earlier this morning, and we had also, in fact, discussed what, with Ambassador Vora, who had, of course, joined us earlier this morning, what exactly the Pentagon official has stated. It seems as if the West is also not openly backing Trudeau's accusations and the charges that he has made. And of course, there are calls coming from within the Western circles of the so-called hypocrisy that usually exists with the West, generally preaching the brown man how to act. And now things are changing. But apart from, as Mr. Mukherjee says, attempts to tarnish Prime Minister Modi's reputation, what do you make of the internal politics within Canada and how that could have influenced Justin Trudeau?
Well, I think it is politically driven moves what Justin Trudeau has taken. Obviously, these moves are very negative. And also it shows the kind of narrow mindset Justin Trudeau is having to gain some political benefits on their domestic circles. He is, attempting to sacrifice a big, vast relationship like India-Canada relationship, which is obviously based on our shared democratic values, shared interests, shared opportunities, shared challenges. And at a time when the democracies are supposed to come together to deal with authoritarian China and to preserve and protect and strengthen the rules-based order, which is obviously being challenged by China, democracies must be united. At this point of time, at this critical juncture, the kind of move Justin Trudeau has taken, obviously, this shows that how immature as a politician, as a leader of a very important country he is. And obviously, that is why I said that the kind of moves he is taking, he is making a blunder over blunders, because he's not stopping. He's repeating his, remarks, and obviously the kind of words he is using, that is putting his entire theory in question. He is using the word, quote unquote, credible allegation. What is credible allegation? If there is anything called credible allegation, that is beyond my comprehension, at least. And you can say credible evidence. Where is the evidence? He has not shown any evidence. Allegations cannot be credible. I can make any allegation on anybody, but I have to show the evidence later. He has not shown evidence, and he's making this kind of repeated remarks over remarks time and again. So this showed his immaturity, and he's harming, obviously, India-Canada relationship. Already done a damage, but also at the same time he is putting his other friends and allies like United States of America, United Kingdom, Australia, and other countries in trouble. And the United States of America obviously must be facing a very difficult position at this point of time, because the India and Canada both are close friend and partner of United States of America. Other countries must also be, other democracies must be also having a very difficult situation. Like you heard what Australian Prime Minister said. He attempted to make a balanced statement. So I think this kind of a situation was very unnecessary. This kind of allegations, they should not have raised in this kind of without any base. These are obviously the baseless, motivated, absurd allegations which he is making against India. And as I was saying in the morning, Pia, that India is having a very big image, responsible image, largest democracy on the planet, fastest growing economy in the world at this point of time, a country which believes in the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a country which believes in the idea of Sarve Bhavanti Sukhina, one earth, one family, one future, Atiti Devo Bhava, and this kind of such noble ideas India is pursuing. And with this kind of approach, we deal with our relations with the world, including Canada. But on the other hand, for to gain just some political benefits at its domestic circle, I think he is creating all sorts of trouble for a largest democracy on the planet, that is India. And obviously, as I said, that other democracies they are also very buried. If you look at the statements by the United States of America, other democracies, they have shown their deep, concern about this kind of development. These are unwanted, unnecessary development which could have been avoided. Also, as I was saying, I will reiterate again that he is picking up selective cases. He is picking up this issue of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, and without giving any evidence, baseless allegations he is making. But why is he silent about Karima Baloch's death, which was done in the year 2020? Why is he silent about the inter-gang rivalry and various kind of murders which have taken place in Canadian soil? Why is he silent about various kind of a procession and a tableau, etc., showing our former Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi's assassination in those processions? Why is he silent about that? Why is he silent about the various kind of posters which were calling for the assassination of our High Commissioner in Ottawa and other, Consul General and other officials in open? Why is he silent about all those, criminal acts which are being done in Canadian soil? Why is he picking up only Hardeep Singh Nijjar issue? Because precisely the reason is pretty straight and simple. Because he has got the support of a new democratic party that is supporting him. Obviously, his government is a minority government. He wants his government running. Also, he wants to get his their support of these elements in the next elections, and that is why, to get this narrow political benefits, he is attempting to sacrifice the India-Canada relationship. I think, with this kind of moves, he has done enormous damage to his own reputation. Also, the India-Canada relationship is already in trouble. But I believe that he's going to lose the next election. And when new party comes, the Conservative Party comes into power, I expect there will be some improvement in the India-Canada relationship. Obviously, as I said, this relationship has a very strong background, is a solid base as of shared values, shared interests, shared opportunities, shared challenges that cannot be shaken by such wrong moves by Justin Trudeau, that I'm very sure.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.